Everyone, so yesterday Draymond Green decided it was a great idea to punch Nurk in the face. He tried to claim that he was trying to sell the foul or whatever. If you watch that video, I've watched it probably a dozen times, if not more, just analyzing it so I could talk about it. I made a video earlier about just Draymond and the Warriors being a sinking ship, period. That was clearly intentional. Like, Draymond knew what he wasn't trying to sell the foul. He literally turned around, open palm, smacked Nurk right in the face. Right? If you're trying to sell the call, you're throwing your hands up in the air, you're falling to the ground or something. And look, this is just who Draymond has always been. He's always had these antics. He's always been this just, dirty, cheap type of guy. But here's the thing. When you're winning a bunch of championships and, you're part of this dynasty and you're this big integral part to that dynasty, people kind of look the other way on things, right? All of a sudden it's not that big of a deal when you're helping lead the charge in multiple NBA championships. When you're winning, things are great. It's okay. Organizations, fans, things like that, they start to go, hey, that kick in the nuts wasn't that bad. That wasn't on purpose. Come on. He did it 3 times. It was an accident all 3 times, right? Like, stuff like that kind of becomes a little thing. And then, you see all the times over the years in which Draymond has really hurt the Golden State Warriors. I mean, look at that suspension in the finals that completely changed everything, right? Like, it's just, Draymond has always been a hothead and always does foolish things that gets him and puts his team in a tough position. And just, you're right now, you're a sinking ship. You're out of the play-in. You're trying to string together some wins here to try to turn the season around. Nobody outside of Steph Curry has played well this year for the Warriors. Like, everyone's been kind of hot and cold. Like, there have been guys that have had games, but for the most part, it's been Steph Curry on an island by himself. And instead of you being a leader on this team and being somebody that is needed to help kind of rally the troops and get this together, and that all the players and coaching and everything look to you to be that constant, to be that leader, be the guy that's like the energy guy, the passionate one, the muscle, all of that, what do? And it's just like, it's like every couple weeks to every week there's a new antic with him. He just got a 5-game suspension like not even a month ago for being an idiot. And it's just like, now it's becoming an issue. And the question was, what was going to happen with Draymond Green? Well, we found out that the Warriors' Draymond Green is suspended indefinitely after flagrant foul on Jusuf Nurkic. So, per the NBA, this is from the NBA, Warriors Draymond Green suspended. New York, December 13th, 2023. Golden State Warriors forward Draymond Green has been suspended indefinitely for striking Phoenix Suns center Jusuf Nurkic in the face. It was announced today by Joe Dumars, Executive Vice President, Head of Basketball Operations. This outcome takes into account Green's repeated history of unsportsmanlike acts. The incident occurred at 8:23 remaining in the third quarter of the Warriors' 119-116 loss to the Suns on December 12th at Footprint Center. Green received a flagrant foul 2 and was ejected. Green's suspension will begin immediately. He will be required to meet certain league and team conditions before he returns to play. So, Draymond Green is getting suspended for, I wouldn't be shocked if it's the entire season. I wouldn't be shocked. I think it'll at least be, a good majority. I think he's at least missing 20 to 30 games, at least, bare minimum, which at that point, there'll only be like 20 games left. So Draymond really hurt the Golden State Warriors. And this is something that I've talked about. I talked about this last year. I talked about it this offseason. The Warriors need to break up this trio. I understand you feel a sense of loyalty. I understand you feel, if it wasn't for these 3 guys that, we wouldn't have all these championships and stuff. Well, guess what? They had that last run, which was great. A lot of circumstances went into it, but still, they won the championship. That's it. Right? Klay Thompson is a shell of his former self. Klay Thompson has been atrocious this year. Like, unplayable at times. They literally couldn't even play him down the stretch, and even Klay has been acknowledging that. Trade Klay Thompson, You should have not have re-signed Draymond Green. You should have just traded Draymond Green. Although if you were going to re-sign him, I thought that they should have re-signed him to a much lesser deal. And I do think Draymond Green is more important for this team than Klay Thompson is. But at this point, Draymond Green is just doing nothing more than just hurting this team, right? Like, you owe it to Steph. Steph Curry is still playing like an elite top, 10 guy at worst. The guy has been ridiculous this year. And he continues to be ridiculous. How many more years is he going to be able to play to this level? How many more years is he going to be this elite? And instead of capitalizing on the window, you're doing the opposite. There was a report that came out earlier that they offered Klay Thompson 2 years, $48 million. Why? Klay Thompson has not been the same guy. And you're living in the past. You know, I understand, again, you want to have this appearance of loyalty, right? But you got to do what's best for the organization, and you got to do what's best for Steph Curry, your franchise guy. Look, I've talked about how, I am a huge advocate for player mobility and players doing what they need to do or feel like they need to do to go win, right? If you're in a situation that you're not happy in, then fine. I understand that. Go get to a place that you're happy, right? So many people clown like guys like LeBron or KD or whatever. I don't. I think if that's their choice as a player. Because, again, the NBA is a business. If players are not up to snuff, the organization should sell you immediately, right? Because the main goal for players and organizations should be to win. And if an organization isn't doing what they're supposed to do in order for you to win, then by all means, leave. Go to a place that will, right? Rather than sticking around and just spending your years and now you fall into the category of not being historic, right? Same thing with organizations. Right now, the Warriors, in my opinion, are not doing everything that they need to in order to win another chip and help Steph Curry. You should be doing whatever it takes and whatever you have to. Steph Curry might not like the idea of trading Draymond. He might not like the idea of you trading Klay. Well, guess what? It's your job to make the tough decision. And if Steph ends up winning another championship, I don't think he's going to care as much. You know, I really don't. If you go make moves and you build another contender around Steph Curry and Steph Curry wins another championship, yeah, he might be upset that he didn't win it with with Klay and Draymond, but he's going to be happy he just won number 5, right? And it's the organization stuff. That's the whole reason Bob Myers left. It's the whole reason why you got, that you did this whole front office rehaul and all that stuff was so that way you had guys that could make the tough decisions. You had guys that now would be willing to go and do that. Well, guess what? It hasn't happened yet. And instead, all you're doing is just trying to re-sign a bunch of ghosts. You're trying to re-sign a bunch of shells of their former self. Draymond, at this point, is more harmful than he is good. He's not the same player he once was. He doesn't have the impact that he once did. And it's like he's just getting worse. It's like year after year. It's like he's trying to find every way possible to just sabotage his career. Like, seriously, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, he's always done silly stuff, right? He's always been about the antics. He's always done weird stuff. But, like, it seems to be more aggressive now. I don't know if something's going on with his mental. I don't know if he's got something going on in his personal life. I don't know what it is, right? And I don't want to sit up here and speculate, but, dude, like, when has Draymond been this, like, physically aggressive towards, like, just random? I mean, he's done stupid stuff. Like I said, he's kicked people in the nuts, tripped people, stuff like that. But, like, literally going and, like, punching people and elbowing people and, punching teammates and just, I don't know. The guy can't get out of his own way right now. The guy can't get out of his own way. And I just think the Warriors keeping him, I think you either cut him because I guarantee you that there's things that he has done that violate his contract. So I think you look to trade him. If you can't trade him, I think you just cut him. Because, again, Draymond, when you're winning championships and it is leading to success, it's easy to kind of look the other way, right? kind of easy to go, you know what? Yeah, like, we don't really like that he does that, but it's what's led us to championships, right? And now that's not the case. So now it becomes a lot more prominent. Spotlight gets a lot bigger because it's like he's still doing this stuff and it's not leading to winning anymore. And in many cases, it's getting worse. So it's like it's getting worse, but he's not getting any better. At what point do you just say, all right, it's time to go another way? Now what? You're gonna miss the playoffs this year? Right? Is that what you're doing? You're gonna miss the playoffs? Call it a day? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. The Warriors need to make a tough call. Trade Clay. Trade Draymond. You might not be able to trade Draymond this year because if he's suspended for the entire season or a good chunk of it, then sure. Then probably stuck with him. But this offseason, I would trade him immediately. And you get whatever you can. You try to use whatever assets you can. And you go get and build a real contender. And you go try to do what you can for Steph ASAP. Because it's just not working. It's just not working. And you're not going to trade Steph. Steph's too valuable to the franchise. Right? You want him to be a lifer. But you want to try to give him the best opportunity. Right? And it's just, he's just not on a team that is giving him the best opportunity. He's just not. So, anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What do you make of this? Do you think that, they definitely need to trade Draymond Green? Do you think that his antics are just getting ridiculous, uncalled for? Do you think that they should kind of blow this up? Do you think, no, stay the course, keep the team intact? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear it, so let me know down in the comments below.